Hello everybody, welcome to my YouTube channel Easy Mathematics. In this video lecture, we are going to introduce about the rules of inference of predicate logic. But before knowing this one, just let me remember you that we already know what is propositional logic, what is logical equivalence, then what is argument and how to validate these arguments by using the rules of inference of propositional logic. When we come to know about the predicate logic, that time we come to know about the predicate and the quantifiers. So why this predicate logic is important and what is the predicate and the quantifier and what are their symbolic form, that we come to know in our previous video. But still in this video we should start from the example of predicate logic so that we can remember what is predicate logic, and from there only we again establish some rules of inference for predicate logic, so that when an argument is given which is the logical arguments, that means which are involving the quantified statements, that time it is very much easy for us to combine the rules of inference for the propositional logic as well as the predicate logic. So let us start with. So here I am giving you at first the four premises. So these four premises are given: Px, that is x greater than 0, Qx, that is x is odd, Rx, that is x is a perfect square, and Sx, that is x is divisible by 2. Now I am giving you few statements and our target is to write these all statements in the symbolic form in terms of these four propositions. So the first statement is at least one integer is odd. So at least one integer is odd means there exists x for which Qx, why Qx? Qx is the x is odd. So that we can write this statement in symbolic form as there exists x for which Qx. Now suppose one more statement is given, that is no odd integer is divisible by 2. So no odd integer is divisible by 2 means we can write for all x, Qx implies not Sx. Qx means all the odd integers. So odd integers implies not divisible by 2. So we can say for all x, whatever be the x which are the odd number, so for all x, Qx implies not divisible by 2. So that will finally implies no odd integer is divisible by 2. Again, if the statement is there exists a positive integer that is odd. So there exist some positive integers. So some positive integers means Px which is odd, positive integer and it is odd, so that Px and Qx. Okay, so one more statement is given. Suppose x is equals to 4 is a perfect square. Now x is equals to 4 means there is a specific value of x is given. So x is equals to 4 is a perfect square. That one how we can say that there exists 4 for which R4. R4 is what? That is x is a perfect square, as 4 is a perfect square. So that if we write R4 then we can say 4 is a perfect square. So in terms of set theory, just let me disclose how to say about this one. So now suppose this one is a set and this set contains all the integers which are greater than 0. And suppose one more set we consider, that one contains all the numbers which are even, that means 2, 4, 6, like this one. So this one is a set, this is all the numbers which are even numbers, and this one is the set which is the all the numbers which are greater than 0. So now if the given value is x is equals to 4, that is a perfect square. So from here we can say that a number which is a perfect square which definitely belongs to this set, because this is greater than 0 also. Not only that one, but it is involved in this one also. And if we say all the perfect integer numbers, all the perfect integers numbers, they are belongs to this set. So is it true? So definitely not, because 9 is a number which is a perfect square, but it is not an even number, hence it is not involved in this set. So based on this, we can say if 4 is the number which is taken from this set, we can say all the perfect square number belongs to this set. But when we consider this one, so from here we can say few numbers exist there, they are perfect square and belongs to this number. So on that basis, when we discuss, so we should get some rules of inference on those type of logic. So there are 4 basic rules of inference which we should remember for the predicate logic and to validate the arguments which are logical, which quantified statements. So just have a look what are those rules and how they look like. So in this table we come to know about there are 4 rules, and the name of the rule is universal specification, universal generalization, existential specification and existential generalization. So how these are rule and how they work? So for that universal specification, it is for all x px, it should conclude that Pc, where C is a particular value of x. For example, we can say all girls are good, therefore Ria is good. So all girls are good representing by this one, and its inference or its conclusion is Ria is good because Ria is a girl. Now the second rule is universal generalization, and it is Pc for arbitrary C, it will conclude that for all x px. So for example, we can say 2 is an integer. Integers are rational numbers. First of all, 2 is an integer. Then integers are rational numbers. So that it will conclude that all integers are rational numbers. So if we consider the set of rational numbers, so definitely 2 includes on that set, and whatever be the integers of such kind we consider, these all are rational numbers. So that from these 2 propositions we can conclude that all integers are rational numbers, and that is the universal generalization, because from a specific value we come to the generalized form. Now it is the existential specification. So existential specification is what? There exists some x p that for px, and it will conclude that Pc for some c, that means for some value of c it should be true. And for example, we can say some integers are power of 2, therefore 4 is power of 2. Suppose the set of integers are given, and definitely not all integers are power of 2. There are few integers exist, these are the power of 2, and 4 is such a integer which is a power of 2. So that we can say that some integers are power of 2, therefore 4 is a power of 2, and this is the existential specification. And likewise, one more rule is existential generalization. So existential generalization is what? One particular value is given, and from there the generalized form we are coming to. And for example, with if we want to understand, then it is all integers are rational numbers, first inference, then some integers are power of 2, therefore it includes some rational numbers are power of 2. So what it say? All integers are rational numbers. We know that all integers are rational number, and it is given that some integers are power of 2. Therefore, some rational numbers are power of 2. That is very obvious, and this is the existential generalization. So these 4 rules are not sufficient, but with that we should know what are the negative of a quantified statement or the negation of a quantified statement. So for that I am just showing you the negation of the quantified statements. So here the statements are given, and these are the negation of these statements, and I have just included one more column here. These are the equivalent statement. That means whatever the statement, quantified statement we have considered, it's one equivalent statement I had given, and after that the negation of this statement. That means negation for this negation is for both, because these are 2 equivalent statements. So what are the statements and how to take the negation of this one, that we should understand now. So just have a look. If it is given that all true means for all x px, so all true, its equivalent statement for we can say none are false. All true means no one are false, and its negation should be at least one false. Its negation should be at least one false. So just have a look what are the symbolic forms. So for all x px, it we can write for the equivalent form there exists x for which not px, and negation for there exists x for which not of Px. Again, if the statement is all false, then its equivalent should be no one is true and its negation should be at least one true. Okay. So, one more thing, you just observe that wherever in the statement it is given for all, in its negation we conclude with there exist, and whenever the proposition is given in negation, its negative of this proposition is given, that means Px, then it is not Px, here it is not Px, then it is Px. So, in this way we just find out. Now, if it is the not all true, then its negation is all true and its equivalent is at least one false. So, just have a look, it is not all x, not for all x Px, so it is converted as it is not, so it is positive, that means for all x it is Px. Similarly, if it is not all false, then it is all false. So, in this way we can take the negative of the quantified statements. So, now we come to know about the rules of inference as well as the negation of the quantified statements. Now, using all those and the previous knowledge of the how to validate the arguments, we should combining all those things now with an example, we should apply our rule to understand the predicate logic and its rules of inference. So, here is the example. So, suppose the given example is verify the validity of the following argument, and the argument is every living thing is a plant or an animal. So, two things are there, every living thing is either plant or animal. Then John's goldfish, John have a goldfish, so John's goldfish is alive and it is not a plant. After that it is given all animals have hearts, therefore John's goldfish has a heart. So, if we just write down the premises depending upon the given statements, so that we should write Px where x is a plant, Qx where x is an animal, Rx where x has a heart, and G is the specific item, that is the goldfish. And if we just want to formulate the argument, then it should be from the first statement every living thing is a plant or an animal, we should write for all x Px or Qx. Then it is John's goldfish is alive and it is not a plant. It is not a plant, so John's goldfish, for it is instead of x we should take G. So, it is John's goldfish which is not a plant, and after that all animals have a heart. So, all animals, first of all animals means it is the Qx and it have heart means it is Rx. So, animal means it will imply that they have heart. So, that we write for all x Qx implies Rx, and finally our conclusion is what? Therefore, John's goldfish has a heart. So, the conclusion is Rg. Why G? Because it is the goldfish has a heart, so that instead of x we should write G. So, that should be our conclusion, that Rg, that means R means x has a heart. So, G has a heart, that is our conclusion. So, now how to validate this argument? So, for that we again start with, so for first premises it is given that for all x Px or Qx. So, from this premises if we use the universal specification, then for G means a goldfish, we can write from here it is Pg or Qg. Now, the another premises is given not Pg. If we now combine these two and using the disjunctive syllogism, I hope you remember the disjunctive syllogism. If not, then just let me show you what is disjunctive syllogism. Just have a look. This is P or Q, then not P, that will implies Q. This is the disjunctive syllogism. So, from disjunctive syllogism we shall find out here Qg. After that, the another premises is given for all x Qx implies Rx. So, Qx implies Rx means from here now if we use the again universal specification, then we can write from here Qg implies Rg. And now if we combine this 4, that means Qg, and from here Qg implies Rg, and use the modus ponens, use the rule modus ponens, then we shall find out Rg. I hope you remember this modus ponens. So, from Rg, that means what? This is our conclusion. So, we validate the argument. So whatever be the argument is given, that is a true argument or the valid argument. So in this way, using these rules of inference for the quantified statement and non-quantified statements, and whatever the rules of inference for the propositional logic, all those we should combine, and after this combined knowledge if we apply here, then we can able to prove or validate such type of arguments. So I hope you understand what is the propositional logic and the predicate logic. So now one question for you. So that is your do by yourself question. Just try to solve this question and let me understand that how much you enriched with the knowledge. So the question for you is, negate the proposition and show it by quantifiers. So the statement is all integers are greater than 0. So first of all, you should take the negation of this statement, and after that express this one in the symbolic form. That means what is the quantifier form, that means quantifier form that you should show, and whatever be the result you are get, that value you should write in the comment box. So I hope you enjoy the video. Have a nice day and thank you all.